Hello dear folks and friends, I'm coming to you today to announce that this December is going to be the third time that we do our annual 12 nights of liminality. And in this video, I will just quickly share all the most important information that you need to know. And below you will find a PDF file that you can download for the workbook that's accompanying for this work. So I printed a version of it for myself, but that's not needed at all. You can download this to your phone or use it on your computer, or even write down all the prompts in your journal in advance to use this. This is available to everybody in the spirit of generosity of the Szczodre Gody time that we are celebrating at this time of year. I want this to be available to everybody. And same for this introductory video. This is going to be publicly available. If you would like to include your friends in this, share the link, pass this along so that it reaches those who might benefit from it. So the 12 nights of liminality is essentially rooted in the folk traditions of celebrating the 12 days between Christmas and Epiphany. So starting December 26th and finishing on January 6th. This is the 12 days or 12 nights, depending on how you choose to perceive this, where in many traditional cultures, including Polish, Slavic, or broadly European cultures, where people would take the time to reflect on the year that is ending and planning for the year ahead. They would be looking at omens or performing divination or paying special attention to their dreams and so on, immersing themselves in practices that are quite mindful, rooted in observing the reality around you, as well as observing the internal landscape to close chapters and prepare yourself for a new year to come. And that's exactly what we wish to do with the 12 nights of liminality. For every day during this 12-day period, we want to do very simple, mindful, you could say exercises or prompts, but also practices or little rituals that are meant to do exactly that, to close chapters on the old year, to bid it farewell, and then to welcome the new year, to prepare yourself for the 12 months ahead. This was often done by our ancestors, especially to predict the harvest, the weather patterns, to see if there's any misfortune that can be expected ahead, any deaths, anything that people would prefer to be warned, against before that actually happens to them, but also looking into the omens around them to see if there's anything that they can glean in terms of good luck, prosperity, abundance, some blessings that would come to them, etc. So that's what we wish to do. And for this purpose, in the guidebook, everything's described very neatly, so I don't have to explain this very elaborately here, but the idea is that for every single day, you get questions, prompts, spreads that are supposed to guide you through this process. So they are meant to show you what you can do each day as an activity in order to glean those things into the future, to close chapters on the old year, and to create this newfound space to bring relief, to bring closure, to allow us to step into the new year with a newfound capacity for dealing with reality. So what I personally usually use for this whole thing is a tarot deck, but you can use any other form of divination, including omen walks, which is an amazing traditional way of going about this, and of course a journal where I would write everything down to make sure that I have it recorded somewhere to reference it across the year. And I have to tell you, this is the third year that we are doing this. The past 2 years, just being able to reference the predictions, for example, throughout the year has been very helpful. And I know that this isn't just the case for myself, other participants as well. We've been seeing really cool overlaps across the community in terms of some patterns of things that can be expected to happen, for example, but also people seeing how eerily accurate the divination is during this time of year, because the time is so liminal. If you look at the traditional folkloric perception of this time of year, it's a very liminal time in between the years. It's like nobody's time in a way. It's in between the worlds. Everything's very fluid and open. That's why divination this time of year can get quite spooky in terms of it being so accurate. So that's why I always encourage folks to, somehow record all of the stuff that comes up, just so that you can later look at it and see which of the patterns actually came true, which ones didn't, or which ones you perhaps misinterpreted, but when you look back at it, you can see a newfound qualities to them and so on. So that's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is dream work. I really encourage folks to, as you wake up every morning, just take a moment for a few quiet breaths to think about if you had any dreams and what they could potentially mean for you, if they are giving you advice on something or giving you closure of some kind, or perhaps even spirit contact, which is also something that is occurring very often this time of year. And lastly, for folks who may not necessarily be inclined towards divination or predictive readings or omens, or looking at their dreams as a source of information about their life, I also prepared a list of prompts for journaling for each of the 12 days. Each day's prompts are quite relevant in terms of the month that they are referencing. They are tied to the seasons and the cycles that we usually observe in our lives. So I think they provide a nice structure for, first of all, analyzing the year that is just ending, so that we can gain closure, and then also looking ahead on how perhaps we can change some unwanted patterns in our lives, or which things we would like to bring forward into the coming year, and so on. So I believe this guide to be quite complete in terms of the activities that you can engage with. It's always important to remember that you don't have to do all the things. You can just pick that which actually feels good, that feels meaningful to you. All of this is done in the spirit of mindfulness, of slowing down, of making this emotionally sustainable to ourselves, so we can actually benefit from this and not make it feel like a chore. This is not a race. We are not competing with anybody. We wish to actually make this period of 12 days something to allow us to slow down, to refocus, to recenter ourselves, so that we come into this new year with a newfound groundedness and strength to persevere. So if you are part of our Toad Pond community, so the community on the thaumaturge tier where you get classes each month, then you also get access to a closed group on Discord where we discuss all of the things that come up for us every day. It's always a very supportive and safe space where everybody can share their thoughts or what's coming up for them, or maybe even ask for some help with interpretation on divination, etc. And then at the end of the process, as usual with our Toad Pond group, we will also have a Zoom call where everybody can share their thoughts and experiences face to face, on camera at least. So if you would like to become part of this group work aspect of this work, then I encourage you to join us through the thaumaturge tier, but otherwise everybody is welcome to partake in this. You can share on social media, you can do this with your friend or family, or otherwise be part of this movement. So we begin on December 26th. Until then, you have time to, figure out which form of divination you would like to use, if any, or prepare your journal for this whole journey ahead. Until then, I am wishing you a peaceful holiday season and wishing you all of the best. I hope you get to spend this time with people that make you feel good, that you feel safe around, and that you get to slow down, get some good sleep, eat some good food, and get some rest, as all of us probably need this at this point into the year. Thank you so much, and hopefully see you around on December 26th when we begin the 12 nights of liminality.